Things nobody told you about buying a home. Good evening, everyone. So we are on episode 7 of this series, and tonight's episode is going to talk about the first-time home buyer's roadmap. Everything I wish somebody would have told me when I bought my first home. So let's go ahead on and get started, y'all. Have you ever thought about buying a home and you just did not know where to start, what the process was, or what to expect? So maybe you've thought about it. Maybe you thought, I don't have enough money, or my credit isn't good enough, or I'll wait till next year. I hear that a lot. I'll wait till later on. I'm just going to, get started now or think about it now. Or I don't even have an idea of where to start. If you ever had one of those thoughts, I want you to know something. You're not behind, okay? Nobody taught us this. Nobody taught us about buying a house or, how that was supposed to look, what we were supposed to do. You learned a lot in school. You learned how to do math. You learned about history and economics and government, and, you learn how to drive. But almost nobody ever teaches you about how to buy your first home. And because no one teaches us, we start believing in things that aren't always true. So tonight, I'm going to give you the roadmap I wish someone would have handed me when I first bought my first home. And by the time we finish this live, I want to make sure that you leave with understanding that you finally understand where to start in the process, okay? So, hello to everyone. If you don't know me, my name is Gwen Ransom. I am your intentional agent, and I am your Fort Bend new construction specialist down here in Fort Bend County and surrounding areas. So with this episode here, episode 7, every Monday I try to come on and share some real information to help you make smart decisions before you go and purchase a home or before you start the process. Not after, okay? So if you're watching live, tell me where you're watching from. And if you have any questions, just go ahead on and put them in the chat or in the comments so that, we can discuss them while we're here, all right? So let me ask you, what's stopping you from buying a home? What's stopping you from buying a home? Is it the money, or is it credit, or is it fear, or just not knowing where to even start? Put a comment in the chat. Just tell me what's stopping you from buying a home, okay? I want to start with one of the biggest myths of purchasing a home. So people say, I'll buy a home when I'm ready, but what does ready actually mean, okay? For some people, it means, saving money. For some people, it's about getting your credit together. For some people, it's about paying down, certain bills and stuff like that. But for a lot of people, it's just that you just don't know what the first step is. That's the truth, okay? And so you don't have to know everything when it comes down to purchasing your first home, right? That's what I'm here for, okay? Sometimes the first step isn't about buying a home. Sometimes the first step is just about getting informed. And that is why I am here, just to be able to get that information to you, okay? So we start with the roadmap. And what the roadmap is one of the things that I share all the time with my clients about the whole process and each step. What is going to happen to make sure that they're not blindsided about anything that comes up. So the first thing when we're starting with the roadmap of home ownership is the dream of home ownership. And then we go into meeting a realtor, talking to a lender, okay, getting pre-approved, set your budget, okay? Set your budget is a huge thing, right? Choosing the right community, that is huge. A lot of people don't think about making sure that you are choosing the right community. You want to make sure that the community that you choose is going to be best for you and your family. Then we start touring the homes, okay? After all of this here, getting the pre-approval, setting your budget so that we make sure we stay within your budget, choosing the right community that's going to be good for you and your family, then we start touring the homes. Then once we tour the homes and we find that home, we write an offer. After that offer is accepted, then we go into inspections. We get the home inspected. Once the inspection is happened and everything is good, you want to move forward with the contract. Then we go into the final walkthrough and then the closing day, and you get your keys. You're welcome home. Okay. So if you notice something, the first step isn't looking at houses online. That's not the first step. Okay. The first step is getting a plan, and that is what the home ownership roadmap does for you. It gives you a plan so that you can be able to, do a step-by-step, know where you're at in that plan, and be ready when you find your home. Okay. So some of the questions that I wanted to answer, because I've been getting asked a lot of questions, but some of the questions I wanted to answer for you is that to make sure that, one person asked a question, but a whole lot of people have that same question. So I wanted to go over some of these common questions. So one of the questions is, can I really afford a home? So the better question is, what monthly payments fit comfortably into your life, into your budget? What is that monthly payment going to look like? Buying a home should bring peace, not constant financial struggles or stress, okay? So you have to think about the monthly payment. What is going to be good for you? The next question I have is, do I need perfect credit? So many people believe that the credit has to be perfect before you talking to anyone about purchasing a home. And that is not always the truth, okay? The truth is everybody's financial situation is different, all right? And that's the reason why it's so important to have a conversation with a lender or a mortgage lender, bank lender, whatever, to be able to get those questions answered, okay? But when it comes down to perfect credit, you don't necessarily have to have perfect credit to purchase a home. The next question I have is, do I need a huge down payment? Now, a lot of people have, back in the day we was told about needing a 20% down payment. That's not always true for everybody, okay? There are different loan programs out there that have different requirements, different criteria for you to be able to meet. And so that's one of the things also that you discuss with the lender, but 20% is not always required. You really can, if you qualify, to be able to get in with 3 to 5% as far as a down payment, okay? But everybody's financial situation is different, all right? When should I talk to a realtor? So my answer is, before you visit any model homes, before you start, looking, touring, you need to speak with a realtor, okay? A realtor is going to help you understand the process of purchasing home, not just the part of opening doors or, sending you homes to be able to see online and stuff like that. The realtor is should be there to educate you throughout the process, to be able to be there for you whenever you have any questions, to get those questions answered. That is the realtor's position. And you want to have that person there for you, okay? For you to be able to, so that you can make sure that somebody is there looking out for your best interests, okay? And then another question that I had was, what's the biggest mistake first-time buyers make? So a lot of times you'll see when you're looking online and you're seeing everybody buying houses, and you're looking at, oh my God, they got a big, beautiful 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 2-car garage. That's what I want. And you compare your journey, their journey, to your journey. And it's not always the same. Okay, so you have to remember that your journey, your story is different from everybody else's, all right? And so when you focus on your path, focus on your journey, focus on your timeline, and no one else's when it comes down to purchasing a home, okay? So some of the things that I wish someone had told me before I purchased a home. So if I can sit down with every first-time home buyer over coffee. I tell them, don't be embarrassed to ask questions. Y'all ask any questions, every question, anything that comes up, whether you think it's big question, small question, ask the question, okay? No one expects for you to know everything. Buying a home is not something that you're going to do every day, okay? So, you know, any question, ask it. Make sure that you get a good understanding of the answer. Also, don't just take any answer. If you don't understand it, say, hey, you know, can you explain it a little bit better for me? Especially when it comes down to the financing side, but also the contracts when you're working with new construction builders. You want to make sure that you understand those contracts. So when you come up with questions, write them down, call your realtor so that they can go over them with you, but ask the questions, okay? So some of the things that I want you to remember as far as a tip, let me give you a tip. When you are starting the process of purchasing a home, please do not go and buy a car, okay? Or don't co-sign for anybody. Their debt is your debt, okay? I understand things happen, but yeah, you want to protect yourself, okay? So don't go buy a car when you're purchasing a home. Don't quit your job in the middle of the process without talking to your lender. Please stay on your job, okay? Don't open up any new credit cards or credit lines. Don't let anybody run your credit, okay? All of that, it has an effect on your final numbers when it comes down to your financing, all right? Like I said, don't make any assumptions, ask the questions, and don't count yourself out, all right? Get the information first, ask the questions, and then decide, hey, am I ready to purchase a home, okay? So one of the things is that I've met a lot of people who told me that, you know, hey, I don't think I'll ever own a home. I don't think that buying a home is for me right now. Not because someone told them that they couldn't afford it, but just because they have, in their mindset, they have convinced themselves that they're not worth purchasing or investing in their future. And so I want y'all to really, really kind of think about, you know, the mindset that shifts when you are starting to believe in yourself and say, hey, okay, I am worth purchasing or investing for my future in a home. All right. So I want to leave you with this. A home is more than just four walls and a roof, y'all. A home is birthday celebrations, is Christmas celebrations, is family getting together, you know, the family meeting place is so much more than just the roof and the walls. And, you know, it's where the memories are made. And so if your home ownership has been on your heart, don't let fear make that decision for you, okay? Let knowledge guide you, and that is what I'm here for. All right, that is what I'm here for. So always remember, you don't have to know everything to get started. You just need to know just the next step, okay? So I hope that tonight's live helped y'all, gave you some valuable information. Please share this video. Comment down below any questions that you have, like this video. Send it to, you know, somebody else that is thinking about purchasing a home or just wants information. They've been talking about it, don't know where to start. Send this information to them, share it with them. And if you would like a copy of my checklist that I do with my first-time home buyers or my buyers, as far as the roadmap, just comment down below roadmap and I'll make sure that I get it to you, so that you'll have something to be able to go by. But yeah, I'm here for you. I'm here, you know, to answer any questions that you have. If you just want to talk about it, let's sit down and talk about it. I have no problem with that. And so I just want to thank y'all for just coming on and spending this little time with me, to be able to get you this information about first-time home buying, the checklist and the roadmap that goes with it. And I'll be here next Monday at 7 p.m. and making sure that y'all get this information. So thank y'all so much. My name is Gwen Ransom, your intentional agent. If you need me, my phone number is 346-702-6748. Reach out to me and we can talk about it. And until next Monday, 7 p.m., see y'all back here next Monday. Thank you so much for watching.